wonder about turning on the subtitles because I would have forgotten to press the record button because David is, I believe he said he's out of town or traveling. So,
is Trace still traveling?
I haven't heard from him. I saw something from your boyfriend, Dane, today. I saw a picture just now on Facebook where he bumped into a cactus, had a spur sticking out his leg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can see that. Oh, my goodness.
I wish people on Facebook, my wish doesn't come true, I wish they'd stop showing wounds. I have a hard time with that. Since my brain rebuild,
Right.
I can't watch some TV shows and movies where it's the gross violence and shoot them up.
Hard to find one without that now.
Pardon?
It's hard to find one without that now.
I know, but right now I'm lucky, unlucky. We dropped the regular cable. In fact, we dropped satellite cable, and our TV comes through Roku or Roku, and we have it set where you pick what you want, and we watch Third Rock from the Sun, Midsummer Murders out of England, something out of Canada, old shows that we like. I hadn't seen an honest to goodness local commercial in maybe 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Today we were sitting in traffic and I looked over and there was a sign on the side of the truck for this lawyer. And I started laughing and said, he said, "What's that about?" I said, "You know, we used to get bombarded with those. I was watching local news at the PT place, and the break in the midday news, and I wanted to see what the weather was going to do. The break in the middle of the program was 5 lawyer commercials, one after the other. And really, I couldn't decide who to call, complain about the lawyer commercials. I guess we all have to make a living, but I didn't think it was so bad that you had 5 lawyers talking.
Should have called all 5 of them.
Well, they probably out chasing the ambulance, couldn't answer the phone. One guy's proud that he's had over $1 billion of claims resolved. His firm, $1 billion of claims. And that might be the reason I gave up driving. I don't want to be one of the people he's getting money from.
Yeah.
I worry about my wife. She believes that STOP is how you spell slow. He does the driving, and I honestly get a good nap because I really don't watching where we're going. You know, he'll be with us in a little while, but Ron Radcliffe is one of my oldest friends, and I was teaching wood turning to him and all the rest of the world 10 years ago or so on Ustream, and we got to be buddies. And I left the Air Force as a 461, which is ammo troop in the bomb dump. And 462 is the guy that hangs on a phone on a plane. 463 is the guy that disarms, explosive ordnance disposal. I had a certificate for that. Ron was a 464. Ron's job was the big bombs. That's nuclear weapons. And Ron's been retired longer than Ron retired up to maximum years, and he's been retired. He's been retired more years than he had put in before. So he's old. But
Wow.
Ron showed something to me on Facebook the other day. This is a coffee mug Ron made for me.
Nice.
Nice.
And it's got the rank I left, when I left it, a picture of 10 guys that went over to Okinawa with me. And let's see, there's one more. Oh, Air Force logo, and that was the name I had for 5 years, Cass. He made this. It's got a liner in it. He said,
Oh, the liner comes out? Cool.
no,
Oh, no, it don't. Okay, I see. I thought you pulled it out.
no, it's
Okay.
he wants to have a cup of coffee, so he sent me a couple of coffees to make my Keurig. Nice.
That's cool.
Very nice gift. I gotta make sure I thank him tonight. He did it on his label.
Ask him where the coffee's at.
The coffee's in the cup.
Yeah, look at
Came
that.
with the coffee.
Came with it.
One
Major
coffee I never
All
tried
right,
yet.
I see it now.
Major Dickinson's blend. And that's the Keurig brand. I can't afford that. And I gave up coffee 2 months ago when the kidney people said, "Here's your choice." I took giving up coffee was the best choice. And I don't get any caffeine from any source. I'm losing weight.
That stinks.
After a week or two, I realized, oh, it didn't. But it took a week or two to come down off of it because it's an addiction. And
Yeah.
if you do an immediate stop, your body fights back. Or
John Brown's joining us again tonight.
hello, John. Hello, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown, how you doing?
Big Productions is here too.
That's me.
I saw you and Miss Brenda in that picture.
Oh, there, I got it unmuted now.
What?
Hello, Mr.
Hi, John.
There you are.
You didn't see that picture that you had, Miss Brenda? You posted with you had the big guy in the background when y'all went to.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I know what you mean now.
When it said big guy, that's what went through my mind. Big Guy Productions.
That's why you mentioned Daddy. Okay.
I wasn't being mean. It was just a play on words.
All right. Eddie, you know what he's talking about now?
Now I do.
Yeah.
Now I do.
Yeah, it's a little slow too.
That's what my oldest granddaughter started calling me. I went over there one day on my Harley, and she was out front, and her daddy said, "There he is, big guy." You know, and that was 25 years ago. It stuck with me. Now, her son, my great grandson, he's almost 2. Big. You know. We all know, boy, I tell you, at 2 years old, he's a firecracker, almost gone off. So great. He doesn't walk, he runs. If you think you can put it up on a table, he'll climb the chair. In fact, I think he'll climb the table if you give him a break. I have a handicap ramp in the front. He thinks it's so cool to run up and down that ramp with a stick hitting on the spokes. Cindy says, "Tell him to stop." I'm not telling him to stop. It's okay with me.
Looks like Kate's little one's starting to walk too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Hey, don't
I
let
did.
us miss it tonight. Today is Cade's birthday.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
23.
23.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Good Lord. I don't think I remember that far back.
You probably have shoes that old, right, Andy?
What's that, sir?
You probably have shoes that old.
I got a couple pair of work boots that's still comfy. They're close.
Yeah. My first wife thought if you took a pair of shoes off her, you had a new pair of shoes, you threw the old ones away.
Nope. Not for a while.
No, I got to keep
Yeah.
2 pair of boots in case one gets soaking wet.
Well, steel toes, you got to break them in, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I cheat. I won't with fiber toes anymore. Steel toes are too cold in wintertime.
Ooh.
Yeah, you used to get new ones and I'd smear the insides with Vaseline so that they'd flex and get, move to you to fit your feet. And I came in one day, it was a little bit tender from it. Where's my other shoes? Oh, you got new ones. I threw them away.
I
guess it was her
I'd be
way.
like, where's the trash?
Yeah, that was
It's
her way to
back.
get around to me. Because eventually she had a new boyfriend and threw this one away. I went looking for photographs that I'd taken during my time in the military, and everything was gone. And then, my kid said, "Oh yeah, she threw all that army shit." I said, "Hey, what?" And that's just how she was. And she is today. She's, Nutso is a great description. What else we got? Oh, I'm still looking for what kind of lathe do you turn on? Will you please put that in our chat? Now, if you voted or made the comment last week, don't add it. Don't add to it. We just like to know. So, doing a little investigation or inquiry. Wow, Patrick and his wife are in quarantined until Sunday. And he says he actually knows what nuts is all about. Oh, wait. Good Doug. Good seeing you, Doug Miller.
How to do?
Hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
Hey, guys. How's everybody?
Wonderful.
Well, not you.
We're doing good.
Deal.
Hey, Susan.
Hi there. How you doing, Eddie?
Oh, I'm all right. I went to
Oh, that's good.
swimming PT this morning and line dancing this afternoon. The line dancing you have to see.
I was gonna say, do you have a film?
My wife's been teaching that for 30 years.
I used to love line dancing.
I lasted about 15 minutes, and I don't think you should line dance with a cane, so I sat down.
Line dance while you're in the pool.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Aquatics or whatever they call it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called aqua size, where in the spa thing, whatever. But I have all my exercises on a business card type thing. I laminated, really heat press laminated, and that's on my shirt, and I can look down and say, okay, got to do the leg kick, got to do up this, got to do the march, almost running in a pool, things like that. I have a list of 22 exercises, and they take about an hour and 15 minutes if I do all the regular reps. I really love it. I miss it. I missed it one day last week for the dizziness, but I won't miss it again. I get an Uber to take me over there Friday because my wife's going to be busy. But it's not. I went this morning to class to learn more, and they put weights in my legs, and I'm gonna kick my butt. It did. nice young lady, great attitude. Is connected to my hospital, Oshner in New Orleans, or Jefferson Parish, and I'm just amazed every time I go there for treatment how professional they are, how well they take care of you. Always a smile. Nobody grumbles. You pass somebody in a hallway, and they say, "Hello, good morning, welcome to Oshner," whatever. They've been taught that attitude is part of saving lives, and that's what they do. My niece works there as a doctor, and I said, "What do you do?" She said, "Save lives." Pretty simple. Have that attitude, and it's a great place. It is, and they keep expanding. I live on Highway 90, and the hospital is 2 miles away. Their development goes a half a mile past that and comes back all the way to my house with at least one unit every block or so of the highway. And I've seen this week, they got 4 new open green spaces or cleared spaces where they have purchased the property, tore down, and they've got plans. I mean, they've got big plans. I wish I was still building. I'd go back to work for them as a CA, a project manager, whatever, because I like working with people who, know what the hell they're doing. Apparently they do. All right, who's been turning this week? Who? Come on, talk up. Let's go.
I haven't. I'm slouching, busy.
I've been turning, but I haven't got a thing to show for it.
They all go boom?
No, I turned 36 kids for a customer. I got them all put in the mail today. Didn't even take a picture of them.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. I was so excited to get it done and get them gone that I just threw them in a box, put them in the mailbox, and didn't even take a picture. Sad.
Yes.
Well, I have an email from Mr. Morgan today. That's the veteran that asked us to get involved in a 22 pen project, and I have a hard time interpreting.
How do you put me on mute?
Mike White. Okay.
Who was it?
He's.
Albert.
I have a hard time understanding the email because he said he has gotten a response. I think we did pretty good on 22 pens. I looked this afternoon quickly and I counted 12 or 13 members that turned the 22 pens and got them out. I did 22 of these Jumplist pens. I think I sent them to Doug, or I sent them to the gentleman that handles the Air Force. But I got another box to Doug. And I'm making mine out of 2x4. You see, I got a lot of money. I can afford 2x4.
Stealing them from Ronnie. She's going to Ronnie's house and picking them up.
Ronnie looking.
Ronnie sent me a picture of something he created on a laser yesterday that was beautiful, but I can't get it in this message program on this computer to show y'all, but it's a heart. I think his grandson, who's now a Marine, got engaged or is engaged, and he put the information on the heart and the name of the girl and the date and all that stuff. And I think it's got a Marine Corps insignia on it. Because you know the rule, once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. So he's...
Look what I made, Eddie.
Bracelet, that's cool.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very nice.
Nice bracelet.
What do you think? Turned out pretty good for my first one.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
little too big for me, but you know, I mean, it comes off fairly. So it's a little big.
Should
What'd you
be.
make it out of?
Do what?
What did you make it out of?
I think it was a piece of red oak.
Okay.
I don't know. I found a square piece of wood in the garage and used that.
What's the inside diameter you have?
Do what?
The inside.
Oh, the inside diameter. It's just over 3 inches.
Yeah, you see the size for almost everybody is 2 3/8.
Yep.
Brenda, wear it up on your upper arm. People wear those all the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Up
here.
further, up on your above your elbow.
Well, that's as far as open as it'll go.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Otherwise, it'll be a tourniquet.
It helps you. It helps your tendonitis.
Yeah. But I'll make some more eventually, so I'll get it right eventually. Oh, check out these. Look at my table legs.
Okay, you get all right. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Those are nice. They even look the same.
Not bad,
Looks good,
huh?
Brenda.
Not
Look
bad
good.
at all.
Pull them back.
Yeah, I
towards
picked
you.
up. What's that?
Hold them up and pull them towards you. All I see is the top.
Okay.
Now you get there.
Very nice.
Those are nice.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love this look on the end. Look at the sculpting in that thing.
Yeah.
Those look great, Brenda.
Thank you.
They look nice.
I picked up a busted up desk or coffee table or something alongside the road and brought the legs home, and they had the screw in top on them. So I used that to make I'm gonna make me a footstool with them. So I did that last week, actually.
What is the
That'd be
wood?
perfect, Brenda.
What's that?
What's the wood?
I think it was poplar.
It's kind of got that stain, black stain and green stain.
Yeah, when you might even be able to see it in here. You see any green in there?
Martin's in the house.
Or maybe even this one. It had some green in it, so I thought maybe it was poplar.
It's pretty. It's got the grain's not overwhelming, so it's nice.
I thought they turned out pretty good.
Turned out great.
Thank you.
Eddie,
I hear you now, bud.
I've got that ornament if somebody wants to see it.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Show it to these folks. All right.
Highlight.
I got to get the highlight off one. Talk, Ronnie, and I'll be there.
There he is.
I don't see him.
There it is.
There we go.
There you are, Ronnie.
Cute.
And
That
it's
is nice.
Oh, both sides even.
Pull it back a little bit.
because I was sitting around yesterday and I started playing on the computer and I pulled out the logo and then one thing led to the other. I've got a new module. Got that 40-watt module, and it's almost like starting from scratch again. You got to learn all the numbers that you need for burning and engraving. So, but I was really impressed. If you look at the anchor globe and
Yes.
and eagle, I mean, there's no burn there, and I mean it's deep in there. I don't know if y'all can see that.
It looks
Little
good.
blurry.
Blue.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. And the filigree alongside the flowers, you know, that's all burned nice and deep without any burn, you know.
Yeah,
Beautiful. I
Good.
love that.
that looks great, Ronnie.
Neat.
The font is fun
Say that again?
I loved your font.
Oh, thank you.
The font that you did for the names.
Yeah, that's the Bradley spot, you know.
Nice
Very
job.
nice.
But they can hang it on their tree, and that might be their first Christmas ornament.
There you go. Perfect.
Yep.
Oh,
Very nice.
It'll probably find its way into some sort of other frame, you know, a box frame or something that they can hang up all the time also.
right. So, you know, it's,
Well, you might go, once they married, we're gonna do a board for them.
yeah, I'm gonna be doing other things for them when they get closer to putting the ring on her finger.
And then when the baby's born.
Oh goodness, I can't wait.
Do not turn her a baseball bat.
Oh, as a note out there, I'd like to say that I am a brand new great grandmother.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Who's that?
Congratulations.
Paula from Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, that's great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, my oldest grandson. He's only 20. Anyway, it's kind of cool. It was beautiful. I was there at the birth, so it was very neat.
A few years ago before I worried about great grandkids. I think oldest one's Laura, and I think she just turned 13.
Hopefully it'll be a long time yet.
I wouldn't change them though. They're all good.
Our demonstration tonight is going to be by Dean Grimes. I think that's correct, right, Dean Grimes?
Great.
Okay. I know.
Yes, sir. It is correct. Just took me a minute to get off mute.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Ooh, and it's got a log on there. You gonna turn that log there, Dean?
We're gonna make it into something. It may be shavings, but we're gonna make it into something.
Okay.
I imagine it's going to be pretty.
Designer firewood.
What kind of wood is that?
You call it a nakwa.
Aqua?
Yeah. I can't ever say it right, so I'm probably saying it wrong and misspelling it. But my neighbor had a tree in their backyard, and I guess it grows down in South Texas. But they had one growing in their yard, and they took it out. So when I came home from vacation, I had a driveway full of wood.
Nice neighbors.
Heck yeah.
Exactly.
Looks like you got it mounted perfectly straight too. It looks like you got it balanced.
Well, it's pretty good. I took a couple of cuts off of it just to kind of avoid all the tick, tick, tick when we started, but I left enough so that we can still get the feel of turning a log.
My favorite.
Years ago, I taught a couple
Let's start with the log.
And the lady looked at me with a straight face. She says, "Do they all make that noise?" She was a doctor and a lawyer and asked that question. But and she could not use a gouge. She started tearing her work. She was doing it with a scraper in smaller pieces. And I kept working on it to work with a gouge. And she said, "This is coming out nice." And she was right. It did come out nice, but I think we need to use a gouge occasionally. So, all right, we're going to see that in a little while as Dean Grimes spins a piece out for us. I'm looking a little distracted. I'm trying to see if all of our co-hosts and help is in the shop. And remember, folks, there's no hierarchy here. Co-hosts are just members who have offered to do something, help us out. I mean, I have Brenda right there. She'll take gallery information and such. Billy,
Oh, I'm here for the entertainment. I'm here to entertain you, big guy.
That you are. That you are.
Hey, Bonham, I realized this, I know Doug Miller helps us out, but, and Ronnie's there. That's my best sidekick. But, sorry, Billy, you just fell into that gap.
I'm sorry.
Did you get your motorhome out, or your camper out of your shop?
Yep. Got the roof all sealed up. Self-induced problem.
Hey, Brenda, I see Steve Lackshide.
Yeah, hello. Yep. I'm right here.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
What you got to show us?
I got some history. I want to preface this by saying that my first anniversary of wood turning is coming up the end of this month. I've had a pretty good time all winter long. But about 7 months ago, I decided I wanted to turn a round ball. So I went through the math and I started with a huge piece of wood, and this is what I ended up with.
That's the way it works.
Now,
It's pretty.
Jason, you got it though.
Nice shape.
Well, this came out of about a 6-inch diameter piece of wood. and that's as good as I could get it, just trying to get it round. And
Looks good.
Last
That's
week,
the hardest thing to do.
last week, I did this one.
Ooh,
Oh, there you go.
Much better, huh?
much
Yep.
better. That's pretty.
Yep.
Perfect. That's
You start with a little bit bigger log.
No, actually, I started with a smaller one for this one.
It's the learning curve. Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There you go.
But anyway,
Good job.
so I'm having a good time, and I'm still a beginner, and I'll probably die a beginner. But that's all right.
Me too.
Hey,
As long as you're having fun, bud. As long as
Thank
you're
you.
having fun.
Thank you for letting me share.
you're quite
You're welcome. Thanks for
You're
sharing with
welcome.
us.
Thanks for showing us.
Steve,
We
that's
have
your,
another Steve.
that's your art. If that's you believe that's your art, it's your art. And there's not a soul in the world can say that's nice, but I got to be kind about this. Who in the hell said you could say but?
Do we have another Steve that wants to share something?
Okay.
Expect that's me.
I think that was the original.
Just one Steve?
Yep.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
And nice job on my last name there, Eddie. Very few people can get it right. Even some of the family doesn't. So anyway, I've got a couple of things. This I turned a long time ago. It's a pen. Nothing special about the pen. It's a Wall Street stylus. And nothing special about the pen. It's the wood that for me makes it special. The wood was fogwood found on ground. Came from a cemetery where 3 generations of my grandparents are buried.
Wow.
Love it.
And so I made a similar pen for each of my siblings and their spouses. And, again, nothing particular about that, but it's the story for me.
I love those kind.
That is excellent too.
Yes.
So,
Love those kind of pens.
yeah, and then I guess I suppose it's pine. I have no idea. What I had to do was soak it in. I don't have a vacuum pot. So I had to soak it in. It was Minwax wood hardener for a week.
Oh my!
These things soak it up too. In any event, this it has a little knot here on the side where I suppose a branch came off of it and it had fallen off at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the tree was dead and they were just going to burn it. I'm thinking I'm going to salvage some of that. So
nice.
A couple of weeks ago, a lot of the conversation involved the intersection between wood turning and lasering. And I've just gotten a laser a few months back, Merry Christmas. So I make potpourri pots. I'm not real nuts about the shape of this. It looks a whole lot like a nuclear plant. More of a proof of concept than anything. But where the lid, I couldn't.
Oh, nice.
My supplier, where I've been getting the pewter lids, has quit handling them. So I've got to find a new home. I thought, well, this might be an opportunity. So I got out my laser, and it's about a quarter inch thick, just shy of that, and cut this. And I thought it came out okay for a first try.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
So,
Looks good.
and it, that'll let the smelly stuff out, and that's what it's supposed to do. So,
Nice.
so something a little different. I had a little fun with that, and that's what it is.
Nice idea.
Yeah.
Very good.
Great.
Great idea.
Thanks so much for letting me share.
Very nice.
Yes, thanks for the idea.
Thank you all.
Great story and beautiful work.
Yes.
I had somebody talking to a customer the other day, and a guy says, "They'll seem to be traveling to lasers a lot." No, just like Steve just now said, it's an extension of what we do. I teased Ronnie the other day about this. I didn't realize he was going to that module and a rotary and a Lego blocks to raise his machine and all. And I said, we can probably blame all this on Billy Dillard.
I've been really quiet about mine. I started that snowball rolling and just backed off.
He did start it.
All you had to do, get it started.
Yeah.
And I'm still mad for him about that too.
I can see the next website, worldwidewoodburning.com.
We were, Ronnie and I were talking the other day about that. That piece of work or that style of work, or just that lasering, would do great with the Zoom project, to show work and hear the ideas, and I think you just have to put your creative hat on and learn a little techno, and you can go with it, really go with it. Look, see the thing Ronnie turned out? I don't think he's had his machine 6 months. And it's nice. And we have some other folks that have done that. All right, I think it's good time to, he is sucking on a cup of coffee here. But really, my coffee is not done. You see it's in there? Because an old friend of mine, Ron Radliff, he wanted to help found this operation. He did this for me. This is a coffee mug. And I was Air Force. He was Air Force. And he had some photographs he took off my website. My nickname, Air Force logo and all. It's got a stainless steel liner. He said, "I'd like to have a cup of coffee." He can't get to New Orleans. He's in where is that at, Ron?
You muted. You muted, Mr. Ron.
Washington State, north of Seattle.
Okay. There is something north of Seattle? I didn't know that. But this is something Ron did for me. Thank you, sir. This is ever so kind. I got it a day or two ago, and
Oh, look at that. He made one for himself too. Nice.
Yeah. And
Ron, I'm looking at your work and I'm admiring it. That's great work. I do have a question for you though. Where that handle is, you have it's engraved behind that handle, and that's a big question. How in the world did you do that?
Magic.
Put the handle on last.
Yep.
What he said?
He said he put the handle on last.
Oh, okay. You put the handle on last. All right.
Do you see the
I
epoxy?
thought maybe you had some secret there.
That is the secret.
Nice work.
I mean, that's
That's gorgeous.
Good job.
That's cool.
Beautiful piece of work. Thank you so much. This came in, and I opened the box, and the phone rang, and I had to go in the other room to take care of some business. And my wife came in a few minutes later, and she went to the bathroom, and I heard her scream, oh, wow. And I wondered, what'd that be? And she came out carrying this, and she says, this is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And Ron, you have not been on the top of the list since you sent me those naked photographs of some lady when I was in rehab. Ron didn't know that I was incapable of operating a computer or even seeing a computer. And my wife and my daughter got it. And what the hell is Ron Radcliffe standing?
Oh my.
Mr. Radcliffe, do you mind if we ask where you got those coffee cup liners?
Yeah, I need to know about that.
I'll post it in chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because they, it's not a big shot of coffee, but I think when you do it in the Keurig, that's probably a good shot.
Like 20 ounces at least.
A teacup for the old lady.
Teacup? A little bigger than a teacup.
Yes, the size of teacups my wife uses.
Nice. It's nice. It's nice.
What kind of wood was that?
Almond.
Almond?
Oh wait, I missed an important part of this. On the bottom.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that's
all
nice.
sides.
And an ammo logo.
Wow.
The letters on the bottom spell out if you ain't ammo, you ain't, and it's a 4-letter word that starts with S. It's got an H and a T in it. But that's the logo. That is the saying for ammo. And if you don't have ammo, you just got one ugly damn airline. Thank you, Ron. Very nice. Ron Radcliffe says they make them in other sizes also, and it's an Amazon product. So there you go, another source for turning items. Of all places, Amazon, which is handy. That tire on my tractor was local retail of $100. Amazon delivered to my door $62. Really, it really spurs you to stay away from, or convinces you to stay away from brick and mortar locations. A lot of us going that way. I don't really. My idea is if you buy it through America, you're doing us all a great deal, a great favor. And I don't want to say big box, little box. I honestly don't like Home Depot and Lowe's because I've lost some good lumber yards and hardware stores because of it. It's like Walmart kills the little retail around them. Sometimes the big flowers grow and suck all the moisture away from the little flowers. So that's what goes on. All right, what else we're turning this week? I'll see what Ronnie's been burning, and I got to call him and ask him, not what you're turning, what you're burning. Yesterday's
about Bob Grinstead.
Is Bob's showing off again?
Yeah, I'm trying to show off another piece here. You can pull me
all right, show us.
This, here we go. All right. This is pressed wood. I think they call it Pearlam. I don't know if y'all see this yet.
Man.
Wow.
But,
nice.
Can you see the grain on the side?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yes.
Like a bunch of
Pretty.
wormholes.
Yeah, there you go. It looks like
Nice.
wormholes. Doesn't it? It looks like little worms going around there.
Worm tunnels, yes.
Yeah, but it turns out into a real pretty terrain.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I can see an octopus in there. It's an octopus in there. I see it.
Yeah, I had to use a lot of epoxy. It it's pressed wood, so it's real brittle, I guess.
Yeah,
I ended up with lots of holes and a lot of
That was
lot of
going to be
sanding.
my question: is how did it turn? Because I've got a piece of that, and I just hadn't put it on the lathe yet.
It's well, the piece I had 2015 stamped on it, so it's pretty old beam. So maybe it dried out more. I don't really know, but this piece it turned all right, but I got a catch once in the lip, and man, I thought I'd lost it because a big chunk just popped up. I was able to push it back down and put CA glue in there, but you got to be careful with it. But I probably put 4 different times I put epoxy fillet holes, and then I'd sand it down, and another piece would fall off somewhere. So, but anyway, that is a Parfex finish. It turned out real good.
Nice.
Very, very nice.
Got a good shine.
Well worth the effort, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I actually went and got the guy that gave it to me. I went and got some more wood from him, but I do like it. It's a real pretty piece.
Yes, it is.
It was a 12-inch blank, and I think it ended up to be about 11 by 4. So it was a 12 by 5.
Good. Didn't lose
It looks
much.
like worms, doesn't it? They put the parallel stranded lumber. That's what it's called.
Yep. If you're looking for a piece, the last time I got one was a piece of it when I was building a church. That was the beams that are exposed for the ceilings and the arches of the church were all that. And normally you only get drops if they have to change something because of construction mistakes. Otherwise, when you buy that, it's normally fitted out through a computer-operated cutting system. I'm at a loss for the name of it, but that's all mine was. Just it went together like a dominoes. Right up to the time where somebody missed the dimension. So thank you, Bob. That is some beautiful, beautiful work, man.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's real pretty. I want to try. I got this other piece I got. I'm going to try to make a platter, and I'm not real sure how that's going to hold together because I want to cut it and make all the end grain show. The bottom of the platter. So you're going to end up with end grain that's about half an inch thick.
That's
and 16 inches around. So I don't know if it's going to hold or not.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Whole lot of CA. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks,
yeah, a lot
Bob.
of CA.
Thanks.
I see Dan popped in.
Yes.
All
Hey,
right.
Eddie, can you set me up? It's been a while.
All right.
Look at there. Look at there.
How y'all
How was
doing?
that trip
Hi,
to the
Dave.
ER?
What? How was the trip where?
To the ER.
To the
Oh, no,
ER.
that was just a little thorn.
Jeez.
You were all over the East Coast, right?
Oh, yeah, well, Midwest, yeah. Yeah, it was a good trip. Long trip. Unfortunately, my wife's not back when she's back here taking care of her grandmother, so I don't have my muse with me.
It's
Keep
that
going,
sounding
Dave.
board you need, right?
Ooh, look at that piece behind him, though.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I finally got something done.
Nice. Oh,
Nice.
man.
shiny.
This is a piece of Materoni. Put it down from a lightning strike at one of my former employers years ago. And so end grain turning hollow form.
Beautiful.
8-inch, 3/16 inch walls. But there was a massive crack all along this wall. and for about 5 years, every time I did resin, I would dump the resin, excess resin into this tank. So
gorgeous.
Yeah, it came out
finish
beautiful.
with,
What's the
and it's
finish
got a little
name?
bit of turkey. So to finish, you pour paraffin on top of gold linseed oil. So I got a little bit of turquoise there, a little bit of turk on the bottom. And
oh, that's pretty.
Got an olive wood finish. Well, I still got to get this all nice and shiny yet. I just got this done this afternoon.
Nice.
Excellent.
And I got a bunch of bowls in process, but those will be for another day. I finished with the finish on it yet, so.
Beautiful.
But good to be back. Missed y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
We missed you.
All right, let's pop in on a couple other folks here. Wanted to show a little gallery. Brenda, do you have them located? Let's just say Gary. Start talking to us, Gary.
Oh, let's see. If you're talking about Gary in Oklahoma City.
That's
yep.
We know.
Okay. Well, I've got a couple of items that I could show that I've done, but I've got some questions about them too. So it's kind of like, but how can I do it better? So this is one of the 2 bowls that I've done. The finish is spray lacquer, but if you look at the finish in here, it looks like water on the ocean or a lake with the waves. And was that caused because, now the first coat was a very light coat, but then the second and the third coats, I got probably too thick, and I didn't really sand them until like the 4th coat. Is that the reason, or what can I do? I'm still in learning.
Gary, I do think it's puddling of the finish because I don't see it on any other part where the wood would have just moved. I would.
It's not really on the bottom.
No.
I don't know if we can.
Yeah. Now
it's only on the inside.
My remedy, if that happened on my piece, is I'd put a little soapy water, and I like Dawn liquid. Put a little soapy water in there, and then take a very fine sandpaper disc and use a slow speed sander and just walk it around in there until you've knocked it down. You may take enough off to have to add some finish back, but that's I would do it not circular orbital. And I said fine, you know, I'd be starting 400.
Well, what I've done on the coat before this last one I just put on this morning, I was using 2,000 and 3,000 and sanding it, and it took it down a fair amount, but I was doing it by hand. I was not doing it with on a drill. So,
now, consider the soapy water is a critical part of it.
Okay.
It's not just water; it's got to be soapy water. The soap will keep it's a surfactant. It'll keep the moisture and allow it to move. It's a surfactant.
I'm not sure if I can get it exactly right, but these all came out of the. I got to get it straight to my camera. They came out of the same log, and the centers, like on this one, also did have that same.
Yeah.
See it right there, and it was on the bottom of this one. It was, I mean, so the bottoms were fine. It was just the insides. And I'm still learning a lot to where this one here had a lot of wormholes on it. And I just left them. I wanted to see what they would do.
Batman.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh boy.
Did you see Batman there?
Oh, Robin.
I don't know. Where's Batman?
All right,
There he is.
That's Robin too.
Batman.
Looks more like Mothman.
Mothman.
But okay, I'll try that to see if I can repair these because I would like to smooth them out more. But you know, these would not be things that I'm going to be selling or trying to sell. It's still learning.
Okay,
Put
another
Batman on it, you can triple the price.
Oh,
Right. Put a little WB, Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Looks good there, Gary. You getting it?
Yeah.
Nice
Let's go to
job.
Don Wilson.
That's what I'm trying to
There's
go.
Bella Lugosi too.
Yeah.
Hey,
Let's
Don.
pop over to Don Wilson. Hey, Don.
Yes,
Hi,
sir.
Don.
Our club has a President's Challenge every month, and this month is lidded boxes. I don't know if you can see it very well. Let me get another light on here. But the guy that gave me the log said it was red oak, and it's spalted pretty nice.
Very pretty.
That's
and I
pretty.
got
That's pretty for red oak.
a walnut
Very
finial. But we were talking about burning a little bit. I'm not into lasers, but my brother-in-law, Bill Goff, who's usually on here, the toothpick holder maker, he makes me a button. It has my signature on it. Burns it.
Nice.
And
Turn that thing around. Let's see the rest all the way around it.
Okay. Can you see it? Am I upside down?
Yeah, no, the sides. Can you see the sides all the way around
the side of it?
sides?
Yeah.
That's Alting's pretty.
Oh, that's pretty.
Gorgeous.
I've never seen red oak do that. That's beautiful.
I never did either.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
He said it was a piece of red oak that he dropped. It was a farmer that gave it to me, but I'm sure it's not maple. I've got a lot of spalted maple that doesn't spalt like that. But hey, it looks nice.
Unique.
It's real pretty.
Nice.
You should win the challenge just because of the wood.
Really? Yeah. But Bill's not on here yet. He'll be on later tonight. But he's been making these buttons for me, which is pretty neat. I don't have to burn it anymore. It's a 1 inch. I use a 1 inch mortar bit. Just drop it in there and glue it in. So works nice.
Nice job.
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. All right. We're popping around here doing gallery tonight, folks. If you'd like to show something, this is the place to do it. And we want to see your work. And remember, our no but guarantee. We like it. We want to see it. The rule is, if we like it, I can't say, you know, I like that, Don, but the but's not permitted.
Nope.
That's Don's art from Don's heart and mind. And I want to see what he did, because if I come apart a piece of fog wood with that kind of staining, I'm going to copy your work, bud. I won't really get as good or as close as I can, but you know, that's why we do this. If you have something to show, jump up here. Our gallery master is Dane, and oh my goodness, he's back. I saw that. Let's see, can I go in and spotlight him? There he is. Birdhouse
Hey,
Bob is
Mr.
with us.
Buffett.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Bob.
Doing wonderful.
Well, in honor of Dane coming back, I did a couple birdhouses.
Uh-oh.
Hey, how about that?
I love it.
Beautiful.
Textured part of textured part of it, and then left part of it smooth and painted with Josiah paint.
That's pretty.
And I've got this one, which is cherry on the top, and then walnut, fennel, and perch, and then maple for the body. And I've got a bowl that I did out of a piece of walnut that I had.
Ooh.
And I used a textured rim and used the Josiah paints on it.
Wow. Nice.
I was real pleased with how it turned out. So.
Yeah, I would be too.
And the back has a little texture in the center.
That is spectacular.
Bob, how did you texture the rim?
Bob, how'd you texture the rim?
Oh, I used a 1/4 inch carbon burr and just, just did it in little circles.
Very nice.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Oh,
You dotted it. Very nice.
How long did it take you, Bob?
Oh, not that long. 6 months.
Not that long?
His hair
6
was
months, yeah.
His hair was
No,
black when he started.
It took maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to do the rim.
Yeah.
That's quick.
That's awesome.
And remember, you don't have a pattern to follow. That makes it real easy.
Well, if you don't have a pattern to follow, then you're following the right pattern.
That's it.
You can finish up real quick. Right on. Thanks, Bob.
Beautiful
Thanks,
work.
Bob.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
All right.
Where we popping?
Go to Ron.
Okay, I'm here.
All right. Need you to turn your video on.
Video's on. Well, no, that's the wrong computer.
You're good.
Oh.
That one doesn't have video. Go to the other Ron.
You're up.
We're looking at you, Ron.
I see you.
Okay.
I see you.
I have a couple pens that I made.
Nice.
They are
Yeah.
acrylic,
Nice
of course,
acrylic.
and wood.
Oh, okay, hybrid.
Nice.
Very
This has
nice.
burl in it.
Oh yeah.
Love those colors.
Yeah, they.
Lovely.
And this one here
Hello?
is some twigs I went out and picked up from the yard.
Oh, cool.
That is
That worked out good.
That came out good, Ron.
Yes, it did.
So, that's what I have.
Nice job.
good job.
Thank you, Ron.
Nice, nice.
Looks good.
Very nice.
What Billy's got to show here.
I have a Mexican light beer bottle opener.
I like that. I
Yeah,
showed
love
it to
that. On Facebook.
I showed it to my PT gal this morning, and she loved that thing.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I made a couple of them. I made 3. The first one, actually, as I was buffing it out on my Beal buffing system, it decided that it wanted to take off and be free. So I let go of it. I didn't try to hang on to it.
So it hit the side of the garage?
Yeah, it bounced a little bit. I caught it on the 3rd bounce.
At least you didn't hit the mobile home.
That's right. It didn't hit me and it didn't hit the motor home. That's right.
Hey,
It's all good. It's pecan, and I put a Parfix finish on it.
Beautiful.
That's all I got. That's all I've turned. That's all I've turned in the last month. Well, I did turn. I finished those pins up we did the other day for the. If you want to see those, I got those. These were the 2 that we were turning for the demo. This was a Coco Bolo burl, and this was the I forgot Spectra Fly. But they both got Parfix on them. They turned out really well. That's all I got.
Watched your demo back yesterday, Billy. Very good job. Thank you for doing one on pens.
Oh yeah, that was it was kind of simple. I just wish my video, I wish my camera would have been a little closer. But we'll get it figured out.
It was good.
The Zoom doesn't work on your iPhone once you're inside of the Zoom app.
Oh.
So you can't manually, or I couldn't figure out how to manually zoom my camera. But when you're before you're in the Zoom, it works just fine. I mean, I had it figured out. Oh, it's just going to be great. Didn't work out that way.
Yeah, Bill, you talked about that the last week, and I corrected you mistakenly because right after the program, I was playing with something and did the exact same thing, and it wouldn't talk to me or work. And I can run things through another program to put it to Zoom, and I can't do that anymore. My bandwidth is rather low. That's why I'm not. That's honestly why I haven't been doing gallery the last couple of weeks. Is the bandwidth is so low in this bargain basement T-Mobile, but I'm committed for another month or 6 weeks. And
is my video good? Because I'm supposed to have a real good internet here. I don't know if the video turned out well.
Oh, your video came through great.
Okay, good. Because
Billy, I thought your demo was real good. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything, Billy. You know.
Oh, I would love to have gotten the camera a little closer. Like I said, I thought I was going to be able to zoom, but now that I know I can't, then I'll make sure the camera is closer.
Well, you got a demo coming up in July, so we'll work on that.
Really?
I love how you volunteer.
I didn't send you a message, did I?
I must be doing that one from another country or something. I don't know.
Go get it. Go get it, James. Go get it.
Yeah, me and Martin are going to do a demo, I guess.
All right, we're out with Charlie Bundy now. Hey, Charlie.
All right. Charlie.
We got
Hear
you.
me? I can hear you.
All right. This is a cooking tool base. My great granddaughter asked me to make it.
It's a cooking what?
Tool. You put your spatulas and
Spoons.
Oh, spoon holder. Okay. Utensil
Caddy.
holder.
there you go.
Utensil caddy.
Beautiful.
It's red oak. It's been
Gorgeous.
underwater for a while. Dried out.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very
nice.
Love it.
Coated
Yeah,
with
Charlie.
the general bowl sealer.
Okay.
Got a nice finish. Yep.
That's all I got today.
Alrighty.
Charlie?
Thank you.
Keep coming, Charlie.
Thank you.
There's so much to use.
Hey, Bill.
Good evening. I have been working for a long time because I love the look of grain, and so I've never been much into coloring it. But Bob the Birdhouse Man inspired me to have a go at something. And so there is.
Well, you did a good job.
It's a raspberry stain. The wood is only cedar, so the finish is not maybe as good as I would have liked. But I thought, it's worth trying. Maybe I'll do this again.
It looks good.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's
I
pretty.
certainly wouldn't
Yeah.
apologize for that. That's pretty.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I like to see the grain.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago, I showed this little pot, hollow form, made out of a wood called Nootka cypress. And I put a maple lip on it just for decoration. And I thought there wasn't enough contrast. I had a bigger piece of this, so I've made a second one. And that's this one.
Oh,
Nice.
Wow.
So that's
that wood.
it's got so the base is Nootka cypress. The lip is a red cedar from the West Coast.
Very nice.
They got a little bit of red in the bottom.
Not so much red as sort of rusty brown.
Yeah, look, when you was turning it, looked like had a little bit of red on the bottom.
Well,
She's looking for figures in there.
yeah. Well, there must be something in the top here.
That is gorgeous.
Isn't this magnificent?
She's looking for animals in there.
Yep.
I can see the owl right there.
Cardinal's a cardinal in there somewhere.
The wood grows only on the West Coast between sort of Seattle and Alaska on the islands in the North Pacific.
Oh,
Cypress.
How did you get the wood?
Pardon me?
How did you get the wood? Did you order it online somewhere? Or?
No. We have a local fellow who spent his working life cutting roads for the lumbering people on the islands on the West Coast. And whenever he saw a piece of wood he liked, he cut it down and saved it. And now he's selling it off piece at a time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He's probably the only source of this wood in Eastern Canada. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Good friend to have.
It's spectacular wood though.
Yes,
It's a soft wood. Is it soft?
It's like a cedar, so it's very soft. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous stuff.
Beautiful work. Folks, in a little while, Dean Grimes is going to do our demonstration for us tonight. We looked at a little preview on what Dean's going to do. He had the log mounted and everything. So we'll get into that. Before we pop into Dean, I'm running a little survey. And we talked about it last week, and I should continue it in case you either didn't respond or you weren't with us last week, which is the same thing. But we want to know, what kind of lathe do you use? And you can put the model and the brand and all that, but we want to know what you're using. If you put that in last week, don't do it again, because we want this to be kind of a level playing field here. But I'd like to know, because we get asked often, what kind you use, what do you do with this, what do you do with that? And I think we had 4 responses last week with Turners saying they have multiples. Hey, I know a lot of Turners that have multiples. And that's okay. They all have a purpose in the shop. But I'd like to know that and know what it is. We may or may not see Cade this evening. This is his birthday. Cade Bolger, Canada.
Flying back.
Pardon me?
He's flying back tonight. He won't be on.
Okay. Yeah. So, but it's his birthday. And Dane, how's your leg healing up?
Do what?
Your leg.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, so
There's only a little one.
Okay, a little spur in his leg. Thank you for showing it with the pants on, because I don't do wounds on Facebook at all. In fact, I'll unfriend you if you insist on showing wounds. And don't forget, members, if you've got photos of your work, you can email them to the club at worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Pretty simple, worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. And we'll use them in our gallery and in our newsletter and on our website. And speaking of website, our master webmaster is going to be we're going to be without him for a couple of days. He's traveling. And he may not have gotten last week's demos and stuff loaded on the website. He's working on it. But considering we don't pay, he's a volunteer. I'm perfectly happy with the world's greatest website related to wood turning. I mean, take a look at if you're a new member, an old member, whatever. Go to our website and see what David Rose puts together. If it deals with wood turning, we can talk about it, show it, demonstrate it. It's on there. I don't know if there's another one that goes into that kind of detail. Dave really does well with us, and he came right out of the woods to show it to handle this thing. All right, in 2 minutes we're going to do this project with Dean Grimes. I was looking to see if we had any other notes here. Oh, we have an events calendar on the website. If there's something happening with wood turning, you can put that event on our website, regardless of what it is and where it's going to happen. And it's like a pay-per-view or IRD demonstration on wood turning. And you're doing it for someone and they can buy a seat in there, be it a club, organization, wide open, whatever. You can put that on our event calendar. Put all the details. Just putting Bob's going to do a demo doesn't help us a lot. Or you. It's all about helping you. So if you have an event coming up, let us know. Put it on our chat or email it to the club through the contact list. And while I have that opportunity, we do not have a membership list, and that's because we don't want one. We don't need one. We don't charge for this operation. We have very limited resources, all volunteers. So we didn't develop a membership list, but our master webmaster is developing a contact list. He's already developed it. You go to contacts on our website, and there's a thing that says member list, and you click on that. If you'd like a copy of our member list, fill out that form exactly like it requests. It's on there. We're trying to make it bot proof. It's going to ask you for a subject. The subject is Captain, capital CAPTAIN. And you submit the form, and within a few moments, Dave will email you the PDF. Now, it's a plain PDF, not active. But it's going to have all the information that you put in our chat for Dave to put in the contact list. So if you say, hi, this is Dean Grimes. I live in Texas. My website, such and such. My Facebook is this and this. If you need to call me, here's my number. If you want to send me free stuff, here's my address. All that information you put, and David Rhodes will put that in our contact list. You have the list. Now we're asking a couple of things of you. Use it wisely, and do not share it with any corporation, company, source, business, whatever. It's just between us members. Okay? And it's handy, really handy, because I get these calls almost every day, but somebody says, hey, I need to get a hold of Kenny. How do I get a hold of Kenny? Well, Kenny's on the contact list. But if I have it on my iPad and my phone, and I refresh it each week, because sometimes I need to get a hold of Kenny. All right, it's coming up on 7 o'clock, top of the hour, and right now we're heading over to Dean Grimes. Dean is be doing a demonstration for us this evening, and if you choose to be part of it, here he is. There he is. Let me ask you something before we get cranked up, folks. We're going to mute all the audio in just a moment. If you have a question or a comment or whatever about Dean's turning, feel free to ask it. But if you would, please let him finish the demo, and then let's jump on it. And remember, I know but guarantee I would do that, but no, that doesn't happen. We don't have a but label here either. We're looking at what Dean does, his technique. Watch his technique now, his art, and from soup to nuts, what Dean Grimes will do to us. And right now, I'm going to mute you all out. Dean, you're going to have to pop back in. I'm going to mute it and come on back, unmute yourself, and we're with you.
There we go. Can you hear me, Captain?
Now we got you, Dean. Go ahead,
Okay,
please.
good deal. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about a natural edge bowl. And we were talking about you do it different. Well, guess what? Every one of you do it different, because there is no one way to do a natural edge bowl. I've got a couple of shapes I want to show you, and then I want to talk to you about how I mount it on the lathe, and then we're going to get busy and we're going to get this turned into a natural edge bowl and see what we end up with. So this is an example of a very shallow bowl, and there's nothing that says there's anything wrong with that. It makes a nice little platter, and most of what you see tonight is going to be either a defective piece or a piece that's not finished yet. Why would that be? Because by the time I get them finished, they're sold. I can't keep them. Going from that extreme to a couple of, compared to their size, very deep ones. And then again, no finish on these. One of the things that you'll notice with this one is it's got some very low sides and the ends come up pretty high. The big challenge on a natural edge bowl is to balance all this out so that your low sides are level, your high sides are level, and this side and this side are the same thickness. So we're going to talk about all that as we go. And of course, here's just one more example. This may be the only one that's actually finished of the whole deal. And so again, we want to keep these level and keep them the same thickness. Keep these level and them the same thickness as these. Let me lay all this stuff over here to the side. Get it off the lathe before I start turning. So I'm going to switch the view just a little bit here, and hopefully we can see this. When I'm getting ready to do a live edge bowl, first thing I'm going to do is use one of these little plastic things, and this one is filthy, but kind of tells you what the rest of the shop looks like, doesn't it? I'm going to lay that down and move it around until I can pretty much judge center. I'll make me a mark with the awl going right through that center hole. Once I do that, I'll define that mark. And then I'm going to come in with a drill and I'm going to drill a hole in there. Now, why am I going to do that? I want my live center setting inside actual wood, not resting up here on top of the bark. Recently got a message from one of the guys that watched some of my YouTube videos, and he just started, and he don't want to use a 4-prong drive center anymore because it threw the log right up in his face. We put a pretty good knot on his head. If he had drilled that hole in there, then it can't escape. And especially with green wood, you got to keep tightening that thing up. When I flip it over here on the back side, I got a nice little chisel and a mallet. I'm going to knock that bark off at least in a big enough area so that my live center can go in there and I can see that it's in wood. Again, it's just a couple of safety things that, well, they're designed to keep the knots off your head. And believe me, as a young boy, I was called a knothead enough. I don't need to go there anymore. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start turning this. I'm going to shape the outside, and we may stop a couple of times and move this around, with the whole reason being to get all four, or the outside 2 level and the inside 2 level. And because I have been dealing, well, you should always do it. That's no excuse, but I'm going to put on my respirator. Some of you may have watched the video and seen it, but I cleaned out my mom's house, or proceeded to do that. That's been about a month ago. And really, this is about the second time I've been in the shop to turn anything, because all the dust and everything got in my lungs. I wouldn't dream of coming out here in the wood shop and turning on the lathe and turning without protecting myself, but never dreamed of it, stirring all that dust up in the house. So I've paid pretty drastically for that, and we definitely do not want to make it any worse. So just take that as a lesson from me. Protect your lungs if you're in an environment where you need to do so.
So far, Dean, your audio's working great.
Fantastic. How's it sound now, Pat?
A little bit low, but it ain't all right.
A little bit low. I kind of thought it might, but we'll deal with that. Okay, so we're going to check, make sure that we're spinning there. Let's do one more thing here. Take a look at this log. We're 5 inches that way. We're roughly about 7 inches that way. And if we measure from end to end, we're about 7.5 inches. So that'll give you folks an idea of what we're starting with. I'll move the mouse down to the other end of the lathe, because you wouldn't believe all the grief that I get for not protecting that little mouse. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We got it turning. We know we're safe here. I'm going to go ahead and bring up some speed. Again, always checking. Make sure that thing is tight. And we're just going to come in and we're going to start shaping the ball. And I don't know about you folks, but I like to do this left-handed. And not standing in the line. You have to be careful when you're pushing through here, or you will push that mark off. So that was a 3/4 inch fold out. It did not take long to get that shape like we wanted. We're going to switch over to a 1/2 inch now. I'll tell you what, before we start turning them more, you guys ever notice how pencils have a way of walking off?
Even with the magnet on them, yes.
Good. So I'm going to make myself a mark right here on top of my drawer rest. I'm going to turn this around. And I guess I did a pretty good job of lining that up. Because it is right on it. I'm going to make a mark right here. Now this is my low side that I'm looking at here. Okay, I want to show you guys. That's where my mark lines up on this side. That's where my mark lines up on that side. So what we're going to do is we're going to back off the tailstock just a little bit. Let's see where that puts us. Moved it in the right direction, that might help. See where we're at now. We need to go just a little bit more. Let's see where we're at now. Looks pretty close. Go ahead and make us a mark here. See where it is on this side. See where it is on this side. So it's still not exactly right. But we're within about 1/8 of an inch there. I don't know with that spur sticking in there, we're going to get it much closer than that.
Okay, you see where we're at there and where we're at there. So we're within a 1/16 of an inch. Is that close enough, Captain?
Close enough.
Good deal. All right, so we were taking some pretty heavy cuts there. We're gonna drop down to a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. We don't need quite as heavy a cut now. We got it round, and we're gonna be catching some air here, but we're gonna go ahead and finish the shape here. Flatten out that ball. I have a exactly round here on the bottom of that guy. Okay, so this will be a fairly deep ball, not so big around. We'll end up roughly probably about 5.5 inches across. Okay, so I hit that pretty close. And just checking to see where my chuck jaws are going to fit there. And after you turn long enough, you can get where you get pretty doggone close. But it's still a good idea to check. So I'm going to come in, and we're just going to make ourselves a turn right there. Clean this up just a little bit so that doesn't give us trouble. Now, folks, we've got the outside of the bowl shaped. This gives us a nice shallow curve. You can go anywhere from a massive curve to a shallow curve. But whatever you turn on the outside, be prepared to duplicate that on the inside. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this around. Some of you may be questioning why there's not a big dovetail on that tenon. Well, these particular jaws are not dovetail jaws. There are a lot of different jaws out there, and they're not all dovetail. One of the things that I would suggest with green wood is that you tighten it down pretty good, and don't forget it. You need to come back and check that again. It will compress on you.
Some of you may be asking about why I didn't use CA glue on this bark yet. I do live edge and I do natural edge. And so I can say very rarely do I have any problem with the bark coming off if I'm turning green wood. If I think I'm going to, I'll go ahead and use the CA, but I don't really concern myself much either way. If it comes off, I'll just take the rest of it off and we'll have a live edge instead of a natural edge. You want to make sure where your tool's coming in, that you're coming in and your cut's about center. Just put that on the chucks. We're going to slow the lathe back down and we're going to bring up the speed slowly. You guys have a good view in there. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to start off a couple cuts here. Not going real deep.
Members, if you're just joining us, Dean Grimes is doing his piece. It's the natural edge. If you wonder about the audio, Dean is wearing dust prevention hood, and we get his audio, and he stops at critical points. But bear with us. Safety is extremely important when you're turning.
Okay, one of the things I want to talk about too is this one is fairly close to the same. In other words, we don't have a real high point here and a real low point here. When you do, and really any bowl you turn, you need to follow this outside edge as you're cutting in. Some of you may be asking, how do you do that? Well, if I take and say this is solid and you can't see through it. If I take my finger and put it over here, I don't have to necessarily be able to see through that to know that my finger is near that hole, right? Same thing with this gouge. After you get used to it and you work with it a little bit, it doesn't take much to know that that gouge is near the center of that hole. If you're paying attention to that, that can be very valuable to you when you're cutting. So what we're going to do as we go through here and we push through, we're going to kind of follow the curve that we've got on this ball. You'll notice we're not real deep here. We'll come back and we'll take that out and go a little bit deeper. Looking at this, I've probably got a little over an inch deep right here at the high point. We're going to come right in. Now, if anybody watched the video I just released, if anybody watched the video that I just released on when to sharpen your tool or how often you sharpen your bowl gouge, does this one need to be sharpened now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So let's put it away because I'm going to be sanding this surface. So rather than sharpen, I'm just going to grab another tool that just happens to be the same grind, the same cut, a different handle, different tool. And let's go ahead and make that cut.
Switch your camera, Dean.
Sorry, guys. Thank you. Now, normally when you're cutting that portion right there, you're gonna get tear out. When you hit around on that end grain, you're gonna get some significant tear out.
I'm not seeing any at all because I had a fresh gouge to cut with.
Now, if I don't want to sharpen, I'll put that one up and grab this one, and we'll go ahead and hog out some more wood. Because by the time I get this hogged out, you know what? Let's be smart. I'm having to push way too hard to cut on that. I'll stop and sharpen if I need to, but I'm not going to have to sit there and push that hard. Because honestly, folks, that's where you get hurt. That's where accidents happen. You sharpen and you start having to really push on that tool. Okay, let's switch again, and then we're probably going to have to sharpen after this. Get some of those shavings out of there. And let that get just a little bit thick on us right there. Let me show you guys. One thing for me to say it, maybe you guys can see it here. So we're just about 1/4 of an inch, maybe just a little bit less there. And as we get down there, we've expanded out to a good 3/8. Go too far, folks, you can get a catch. Don't want to do that. Yeah, that puts us pretty even all the way. Anybody see that?
Yep.
Good little catch there, so be careful with that. We're extending a little further out over the full rest, and even though I would prefer to cut that with a 1/2 inch, I'm gonna go ahead and move to a 5/8 inch gouge. Let's take a time out and switch tool this here. Another thing, and I'm doing it here, but you guys don't do it. When you're turning, take your lathe tools off the lathe bed. Last thing you want them is them embedded into your foot. Mm. Does that help y'all to see in there better?
Sure.
Okay.
Take your time, Dean.
Look at the bottom of that bowl like that. Make sure you take them like that. Because you're way out over that tool rest on one this deep. We've got quite a bit of wood still in the bottom of that. Okay, let's take one more look at this. See where we're at here. Okay, what I'm doing here, guys, is I know I'm heavy in the bottom. I just want to know where I need to start the taper coming down. should give us pretty much running that 1/4 inch all the way up. Okay. That's deceptive there. It looks like I'm deeper than that. Well, sorry about that, guys. See where we're at one more time here. Oh yeah, we're just smoothing it out at this point. Actually, I don't use this tool a whole lot, but when I get on one this deep, I don't mind at all. I'm going to raise the tool rest up a little bit, make sure we're still spinning. I'll check this so that I know that I'm coming, I've got the back of the handle up. That's super like that. Okay, folks, let's do one more check before we, I see one more thing I'm going to have to do here. Okay. Got one little thing to fix. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we got a little catch right in there a while ago. And that's going to be awfully thin right there. But I think we can make that work. Yeah, we'll be down to about 1/8 of an inch. So and guys, notice where my hand is. It is on the back side of the tool. That's the saw blade. So guys, I probably should have stopped while I was ahead. And the reason I say so,
That shadow
if you look real close, it goes all the way through. And I did that on purpose so you guys could see how thick it is. Right. So the problem was, let's take a look at it. I got a catch right in here. And when I'm trying to pull that catch out or pull that divot out where I had that catch, we went right on through the base of it.
Dean, that's a design opportunity to make a lampshade is what that is.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Do a good demo, Dean.
So guys, let me say something here real quick. I don't care whether you've been turning a year, 6 months, or 20 years. This is going to happen sooner or later. And there is no shame in it, okay? So it doesn't embarrass me one bit to tell you guys that this is not the first funnel I've made. I've made a couple on purpose that were actually shaped like funnels, you know. But when you get into a deeper turning like that, you're really reaching out over that tool rest. And with traditional tools, that can be a challenge. But hopefully, in the process of doing this, showing you how to line up, because you see how level that is. Okay? You notice that this edge and this edge are the same thickness. We talked about going to a sharper tool when you're cutting your last cuts in here. That's going to save you so much sanding. And again, it happens. Don't worry about it. It's wood. It grows on trees. And you know,
I'm not there for you, Dean. Is that you went and you did incrementally cutting down from the wall to moving the center wall or the center mass, and then going, you know, and taking your sharp tool, getting a nice clean cut on that wall before you advanced any deeper on the bowl. That was very key to this demo.
Absolutely.
Good job
guys.
illustrating that.
There's a lot of stuff I would just have you not go quite as deep, okay? And like I said, it grows on trees. I have to use trees from the neighbor's yard. I'm not rich like Captain. I can't afford those 2x4s.
I
Hey,
like
wait.
the way you showed that screen.
Looks like it'd make a nice lampshade to me.
You know what? It just might, Bob. I don't know. We may have to give that a whirl.
You'll save it. Make something else. You'll save it.
Hey, gang, I thought we agreed not to talk about my 2x4s from Ronnie's yard. Come on.
Oh, okay. All right. So you stole those from the other rich guy on the call, huh?
He's burning. He's not turning. I just went over and got what he wanted.
But any questions on this, guys?
Anyone?
I want to know about that shield you're wearing.
Okay, we can
With
talk
that-
about
That cape.
All right.
Oh, boy.
So,
See, the fat man came up.
So the,
Yeah, I
the
like that
shield,
cape piece.
the shield here, not to advertise for them or anything, but it's a 3M product. And if you buy this shield with the power pack you wear on your belt, you're going to spend $1,700. I picked this up secondhand for, I think, $100.
Oh,
and I bought a $59 HEPA filter, put a $3 bucket on top of it, bought a hose from Rockler, and for way less than $200, I have a air purifier that is not loud. It's comfortable to wear. It gives you plenty of breathing air, and it's safe to breathe. And I do have a video on the YouTube channel, so you can see exactly how I made that.
It came with the cape piece.
No, I just had to take the S off my cape there, Brenda. So no, no. This hood is designed for painters, so therefore it has the cape, the thing on it.
Okay.
I'm not real fond of that, and I've been threatening to cut it off or to try and see if they don't have another one. But one of the nice things about it is you don't get shavings down your shirt.
Exactly what I was thinking.
So it has
Don't
its
like
benefits.
shavings down my shirt.
But I will tell you, if you're going to get that and you're going to wear it, understand and know where all your loose clothing is. These sleeves, I'll be doing that while your lathe is on. And if you're going to wear that, you got that, don't be leaning out over that chuck or over your turning piece with that cloth hanging down there. We want to do what we do, have fun, and stay safe so we can continue to do it for a long time in the future, okay?
Hey,
Hey, Dan, now we're talking about safety. We have a question in the chat on how you would go about sanding the wings.
Okay. So, for the most part, I do not sand these spinning. Up to right about here, you can sand it on the outside. I don't have a problem with that. When you get on the inside, I'm doing it with it sitting still. 90% of the sanding I do on that, the lathe is off.
Hey, Dean, have you ever considered just putting the plug in there? I know most people don't want to do that, but you know, you could embellish or do something with the plug right in the bottom of that funnel. And
I did one with a pedestal one time, and everybody thought it was great. And what I did is I just turned a pedestal out of darker wood, and then I textured the top of it and made it proud of the bottom. And so it looked like it was done that way on purpose. And I actually sold that in a show, and everybody came up and oohed and awed. And finally, I had a turner show up. He walked up and he goes, "Yeah, I know what you did there."
Right.
Just like I say, you'll save it.
Yeah, there's always something you can do with it, or, you know, I probably save way more of that kind of stuff than what I should. I think, well, I can't see it from right here, but there's a piece of bark right there in the ceiling. I have foam insulated ceiling in my shop, and I turned the lathe on and reached to turn it down and turned it up instead, and the bark flew off and stuck in the ceiling. And a buddy of mine was over here, says, "You want me to get that down for you?" I said, "Nope, that's staying there forever." Constant reminder. So it's some of your mess ups and some of your, let's say, design opportunities can be some of the best learning you do. So, because next time you know not to do that, right? Any other questions?
Nothing listed in chat.
All right. Good deal. Well, guys, it has been a pleasure to turn for you tonight. Thank you so much for allowing me to do that. And if you get a chance, go to my YouTube channel, look at Dean's Woodworking, especially watch the one on how often I should sharpen my bowl gouge. I think you will be blown away by how fast it gets done.
Thanks, Dean. I love watching
that gouge hits
the
the wood.
Thanks, Dean.
Thank you, guys.
Good demo, Dean. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you very much. It was great.
Thanks, Dean.
Thanks, Dean.
Dean.
Good demo, Dean.
Thanks, guys.
Now, members, consider this. Dean, like all the other demonstrations we see, are from volunteer members. We don't pay for this because you don't pay for it.
What, you're not paying me? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. I sent you a check out last week. You should have got it by now.
I'll be looking for it,
Dean.
It's our accounting department, you know.
Bob will take a look at it, see what happened.
Yeah, our CFO is really hard to deal with. But Dean's a volunteer. If you'd like to do a demonstration for us, we welcome it. But even more than that, and I've been slacking off on this a little bit, tips and tricks. If you have something or do something that's rather unique, or you think it's rather unique, to wood turning, and I'm talking from lathe maintenance to finishing, to sales tricks, etc., we want to have it here as tips and tricks to expand everybody's horizons. And like, if you do talk about selling something, it's fine. Let's talk about what you do to sell it. This morning, I showed my PT girl those bottle openers that Billy Dillett turned and did laser engraving on and all. And she said, "Wow, I'd buy a pair of those," because it was showing two. Consider that. Consider you having your spouse or your special significant other going out shopping with you. What would entice them to get involved in buying multiples or buying something unique or having it explained to them? Like, you put your material out. Do you identify the wood? A lot of times that will bring back memories of other parts of their lives and then make the piece a little bit more significant. But that's under tips and tricks. If you've got one to share with us, you can do it right here when we do gallery. Just say, I have something to show, something to share, something to benefit other turners. We'd like to see that. We're doing an informal poll. Only want one vote from you, or one answer from you. What type of lathe are you using? Tonight we got some really, really great stuff showing up. And it's not that there's going to be a winner and there's never a loser. It's just that we'd like to let folks know where all this art's coming from. And I mean, if you want to throw stones at lathes, David Swain, who's a member here, built his lathe. And I'm not talking about going back to the forge and the foundry and pounding it out. He built his lathe out of wood. It's a project you could do. Because David wanted to turn, was having some problems. He got over those hurdles real quick. Looking at here, I said, what kind of lathe? Send your photos in to us at worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. That's the right address. Yeah. And as always, we're at worldwidewoodturners.org for a club. Not .com. We're at worldwidewoodturners.org. If you have something to show in gallery this evening, right now, throw it in our chat. Our gallery master is Dane Chandler out of Tucson. Dane will introduce you, and if you would please just start chatting back to us, because we have about 80 folks in the audience tonight, or in the membership tonight, and it's kind of hard to pick out until you talk and a little screen goes blink, 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 and we get to see what, and the screen does do that blink, 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 blink. So if you have somebody, let's go. What's up?
Well, you know, I missed what Brenda had showed earlier, so I'd like to stand back to Brenda and check out the angles that she made. Hey, Brenda.
Hi, Dane.
Oh, are you there?
What do you think?
What'd you make it out of?
I think it's a red oak, red elm, maybe. I don't know.
You did a good job. How'd you cut it?
How'd I cut it?
Yeah, how'd you cut it?
Well, I used a gouge.
How did you? All right, let's throw. All right, Batman. How did you hold it?
Oh, how did I hold it? Okay. First I square. I put it between centers.
Yep.
Made it round. Okay. Made the outside round. Then I put it in my cold jaws.
Okay.
And cut out the inside. And then I put the cold jaws on the inside and reshaped the outside. Then I went back to the inside again, and because it wasn't big enough, I had to make it a little bit bigger.
On that. You got
Yes. Yep. Sure do.
I'm looking.
It's a little too big for me, but next time it'll be a little smaller. So.
Well, Sue told you to run it all the way up your arm like a tourniquet.
Yeah.
You look kind of rad.
Yep.
No, that was not Sue.
That was
That
Paula.
Oh, Paula did that.
Yep. So
Really cool.
We have
Brenda,
the same issue as Brenda.
I made a set of jaws to fit on my coal jar plates for my one-way stronghold chuck. I took the buttons off and I put plywood on, 2 thicknesses of plywood. And then I cut a groove in the in there to hold the outside. So if I turned it round to the right dimension I wanted, I could hold it in that chuck until I could shape the inside. The critical dimension, and you know it right now, is the interior dimension, the inside dimension.
Right.
When you look at bracelets or bangles, they're normally about 2 3/8 of an inch. They may have to step up for some folks, and for really thin people, maybe step down. But once you have that inside finished, and you're holding it in a coal jar that's all plywood, so when you go in with your cutter or your scraper, if you go too deep, you're hitting more wood. You're not going to tear your blades up. That's why I'm double thickness. And then to finish the exterior, I created a dead man or a slip-on stub that would be 2 3/8 inch plus a little bitty bit. And I'll put some of that blue painter's tape on it. And then you just tap that bracelet on, finish shaping the outside, put your finish on, et cetera, et cetera. I used to go crazy with bracelets and bangles, and I'd put them out of line and then burn lines in them with the lines not going center down the piece, but walking from one side to the other. Bob Moffett will probably embellish the living daylights out of it. Either with a rotary.
Who, me?
Yeah, that you. Rotary tool or a burning tool or a grinding tool. But Bob, isn't that what you would do to it?
Do what?
If you turned the bracelet like that, wouldn't you embellish the outside with one of your techniques?
I probably would and leave the inside. Probably wouldn't leave the inside smooth.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna have any friends if you embellish the inside.
Or left it rough.
Unless you want it to be comfortable on the inside.
But it's
when I put it on the coal jaws, I only went about halfway down, and then I turned it and then did the other side.
Yeah, Dane, I'm glad Dane called back on you on this. That appears to be a simple project, but do you know what that is right in front of you, Brenda? That is a canvas. And that canvas says, show me what you can do.
Yeah.
From a bead to a groove, to embellishment, to edges that are accented, color, laminated woods, segmented woods.
Yeah. Well, not to mention just getting this side even with this side.
Oh yeah, making it symmetric. Yep.
Yeah.
But does it have to be
making the inside match the outside? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
why
why
the inside the same size as the outside.
Brenda, what was the finish you put on that?
Parfix
3408.
Yeah, Parfix 3408.
Wipe on, wipe off. Buff.
The Parfix 3408 is the ideal finish for that because it will not react to skin oils. So if you make one and you put the wrong finish on it, the lady wearing it may be offended in 6 or 8 months when the finish comes off and they start picking up splinters or reactions. So that's good choice, the 3408.
I've heard a lot of folks mention Parfix, but I'm not really familiar with it. Is that a form of a CA glue or a CA finish?
Yes, it is. It's a type of CA, yes.
Okay.
It's a medical grade CA, and what sets it apart from the retail brands is that it's not an acetone based CA. So it literally only takes one coat, goes in plasticizes within the wood grain, and then you buff it with on your buffing wheel with Bonax, and you've got a super shiny surface.
Awesome. That sounds like a dream.
So one of our members, Mark Soleil, he is a distributor of the Parfix brand. And if it's not available, on Amazon or through retail, let me restate that. There are people that sell it on Amazon for absurd pricing. But if you looking to get into the Parfix brand, get a hold of Mark Soleil.
I think he's on here tonight too.
List, and I'm sure he's online with us as we speak. But it's a game changer when it comes to using CA as a finish. Plus, you can use the 3408 for a large project because it doesn't require as much as what it would take with your tight bonds and your star bonds and your stick fast and insert name. And you do not have to do 3 coats, 4 coats, 5 coats, 20 coats, and then sand back with your micro mesh like you see so often with various projects online. So very good stuff.
His contact information is also on our contact list.
Yes, and let me do something here, Dane. This is not a commercial endorsement for a product. This is a fact provided by members about an item they use, because Worldwide Wood Turners is non-commercial.
This is a save your money.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally fact based. It's not. It's just because the product is really good. That's all.
Yeah.
Let's check that out. Thanks for the info.
Oh, you're welcome.
Another good thing about it is there's no fumes.
Correct.
Oh.
There's no fumes to it. There's none of the white bloom that you experience with the other brands. If you get too much on, it's going to overheat and make that nasty white bloom that's got to be removed. But most importantly, is the fumes. There is no fumes to it. So no burning eyes, no burning your nostrils.
When I was doing this too,
it won't burn your skin either.
Right.
When I was doing this too, I did have some drips, that little spots, that were thicker. So in order to sand that or to fix that, I was able to just sand that off a little bit and not have to redo the whole finish. But the buffing then, when I buffed it out then or whatever, it was all nice and shiny and whatever. I didn't have
because it had already gone into the wood grain and plasticized. It had already polymerized.
Yeah, I didn't
all
have
you were
to
doing is removing the
redo
excess
the whole
on top.
thing.
Yep. Right.
How does the Parfix work as a glue? Is it just as good as a glue?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They've got different viscosities.
Yeah. Now, it is a glue. All these products that we talk about, CAs, they're all adhesives. It's just the basis for them and the viscosity changes. In fact, 3408 is not the ideal for doing pens. Somebody jump in and tell me what that one is.
Right.
3460.
3460. And then isn't there a 900?
Yeah, the 900's a little thicker. If you use the 3460 and put like 3 coats on, and if you want it to go really thick, you could put a 900 on it. But the 900's more of a medium. And if Mark's online, he can tell you all that stuff.
Mark, you out there?
I didn't see him sign in.
I saw him sign in. He's probably sleeping. Let me go look and see.
Don't say that. Just because he's old and grumpy.
Yeah, he's on.
He gets up at 4 in the morning, you guys.
Oh, I know.
Mark, you awake?
I think he's busy working away on something. He's got his
probably must be, yeah.
Yeah, he's a go-getter.
I have 2 questions. One is for Bob Moffett.
Well, let's go look at Bob then.
Okay.
Bob, on that gorgeous piece of walnut that you did, how did you do the corbels on the inner bowl?
Are you talking about the rim, or are you talking about this? Are
And
you
I'm
talking about this right here?
I'm talking about that, yes.
I used a Sorby spiraling tool.
Okay.
I just held it straight in.
It's gorgeous.
I got mine
I went in with a parting tool first to the depth of the bead.
Okay.
And then I went in with, then I held the the red handle Sorby spiraling tool.
Okay.
And held it straight in. You just let it spin.
It is gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
It is beautiful. I love it. If
Sue,
you don't,
do you need
I'm
to
on the
see how that's done? Sue, do you need to see how that's done? Sue,
What's that?
Sue, do you need to see how that's done?
I would love to see how that's done.
Dane, sign him up.
Oh, I will. I will.
Do a demo on that
Hey,
sometime.
Eddie set me up, you guys. Eddie set me up.
Susan could
I
do a
think you
demo
set
on
Bob
that.
up. That was a good lead-in.
Bob, I'll tell you, I haven't been in the shop for the last 2 months because of health issues. So I've got to get back in the shop. So, yeah.
I think you just go on over to Susan's and visit and show her personally.
Well, Brenda, you know, you can come down anytime.
I got company right now. I can't leave.
I had company for 2 months and I was glad they left.
Well, I got to
still
say,
enjoy mine.
So I'm going to elaborate a little bit, on people, us Turners going and visiting other Turners. So while I was away, these 6 weeks, well, with the exception of last week, I felt like crap and I couldn't make the meeting. But I got to go see Greg Bray's wood turning. Met a marvelous man. He outfitted the back of my truck with a whole bunch of wood. Couldn't be, more appreciative for that. Aside from that, just for 3 hours, just sitting and talking with another person within our trade, within our hobby sect. It was really great. And then the following week, I went up and saw Brenda and spent a day and a half with her, and what an experience. If any of you ever get a chance to go and spend time with another turner that you only see online periodically or anything like that, highly recommend. Not only is it therapeutic for yourself, it might be therapeutic for them, but it was really nice to be able to sit and visit and to be able to turn. And I know the first night, we stayed up to about midnight turning wood, but Brenda got through it.
Yes.
I
normally don't turn that long.
We had a really good, about 10 o'clock. She was like, how long do you plan on turning? I'm like, at least until midnight.
Yeah. First he said all night. I'm like, I can't do all night.
We had a really good time, and a lot was learned, and
yes, enjoyed it.
Very enjoyable time, and it was tough trying to tear myself away and make the drive back down to where I was staying at. So, and I wish I would have had more time. Things would have worked out to where I could have stopped in and saw Doug Miller, but the stars didn't align. So maybe this fall I'll be going back up again. See what we can swing then. Right, Doug?
That's right. I mean, you were within half a mile of my house.
Well, I had to detour out because there was a traffic accident, and there was like a 1 hour delay there at the intersection of 75 and 71.
Ah, yeah, I know that day.
Again, it was late. It was like 9 o'clock, when I was going through that area. So
sure.
He left here a couple hours later than he planned
If
to.
y'all come, you're more than welcome at my place. And
Sounds
you can
good.
see Paula if you go back up via Tallahassee.
Right.
Second that. Anytime you get a chance to visit any other wood turner, spend time turning with them. I recommend it highly.
Oh, you'll learn something every turn.
Yes, I enjoyed the time that Trace came up too. Yes, even though that was only 3 or 4 hours, but that's still great.
Yeah, because as we saw tonight with Dean's demonstration, his technique may be different than your technique. The thing about lining up the lips on the natural edge or the natural edge. Let's stick with that. lining the lips up. That's a trick that you can develop, but you can use it in two absolutely different ways. You can line them up to be absolutely even, or you can kick them out. And it's a challenge to turn because you're really turning a lot of air when you do that. And you've got a blade sticking out there that could catch a tool because you can't always see it. But it's going to make for a unique piece. But see, Dean showed us how he'd line it up. Take that and use it to another effect. If it's too uniform and it's not really making you go, "Ooh, wow," kick it around a little bit, change it up a little bit. But that's why you go to another turner. You go see what they do. You see how they hold it, etc. Brenda showed us that bangle or that bracelet that she turned. Dick Mueller threw it in the chat this evening. Those bracelet sizes are determined by the inside diameter. That's what we were talking about. A 2.5-inch diameter is just under a size 8. And I was, the ones I turned for a long, long time are 2 3/8 inches. I was talking about how that's your canvas, what you can do with it. My wife isn't here because I can't grab her collection. But I did them where I sandwiched 2 identical woods and put a piece of brass or copper between them. Then I had one I did brass and aluminum and layered sandwiches using pick guard for accent. And don't think you got to go straight down the center. Say it's a little bit crooked. Lay it out on a piece of draft paper and see where it falls. And you know what to do for cutting it to get it started. If you wonder about how to hold it on a glue block to get that first cut on the outside. But what can you do? Now you've got me interested. I'm looking for my chuck. I'm in the shop. I'm looking around to see where that chuck is I built for my, it's on my on my faceplate, and it's adjustable, and it's got the 2 rings. I know it's in here. I thought it was right in front of me. But I'd like to see a demonstration on bangles and bracelets. But let's not hold off there. Somebody else shows how you do pendants, earrings. Boy, I tell you, earrings are hard. Straight out, earrings are hard. Those are little bitty things. I saw somebody the other day at the clinic that had wooden hoops that were turned for ear. Don't look at me with earrings, okay? I had little hoops on the drop down.
You'd be
Don't
cute,
laugh,
Eddie.
Sue. Don't laugh,
That's
Sue.
what I was going to say, Susan. Yeah. You look good in hoops, Eddie.
You'd be cute, Eddie.
When I had hair, I used to wear earrings.
I'll have to put mine in sometime.
There you go. I'd love to see it. I got a question, another question for everybody. What do you think about the curved tool rests that they sell in some of these places?
I use it.
Okay.
What's your question about it?
Well, the question is, would Dean have he stayed with a straight tool rest? Would you have used a curved in there?
Well, it would depend upon the clearance that you have with the live edge there.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to throw something in here. What if he used a box rest like Mark Salation?
I thought about that.
What I was getting ready to say was, the box rest would have been optimum going in. But again, you're limited on the box rest because it's only about 5 inches long. Whereas this hole is only about 5 or 6.
For like say I've got the 1221. The box rest for that is about 3.5 inches.
Yep.
And I was just wondering, wouldn't something like that help? Now,
It would.
I'm a novice.
The curved rest would really allow it to get in there.
Yeah.
So I'll pull mine now.
Yeah, anything you can use to get in there so you're not hanging so far over that tool rest is going to help.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, Dean, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that's
And
fine.
Here's my curved tool rest. It's the one-way curved tool rest,
Okay.
9 inches, and so that would allow you to, to go right down into that wall. That would allow you to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
And still give you the clearance from the wings.
Okay.
But that's the biggest thing, is making sure you've got the clearance on the wings and the orientation of the wings, whether they're even or one is cocked more than the other.
Gotcha.
Dean's holding up the S shape.
So that little S shape will let you get in pretty good too.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, there's a couple different versions of the S. Not a favorite of mine.
No, me either. I rarely use it. Just looking for
But
some other options here.
Okay.
There's a double-sided.
I got something like that from Penn State for the 5/8 inch hole for the MIDI. But I haven't used it yet, and I wanted to see if it was worth me buying it. So evidently it is.
I would go with the regular. I'd go with the regular curved over the S.
Okay. Well, I got a couple of those as well.
This I will use sometimes to kind of get into some deeper areas too. It's got a little bar on it and a pin that you can use for hollowing. But it also works to just give you a flat surface to get in there a little bit more on.
Right.
Okay. Now, did you have that one made, Dean?
I got that one when I bought this lathe.
Okay.
I didn't purchase this lathe new. I purchased a whole bunch of tools and they gave me the lathe.
Wow.
Get out of here.
That's cool.
No, it was such a great deal on the lathe, and then they gave me so many tools that literally I got a super deal on the setup.
That's cool.
You know, on the S curve there, or the curve tool, I remember when Trace was here, he told me he never uses that piece. I don't remember why, but he said he didn't like it. He never uses it.
I don't use that one, and I don't think I've ever used this one.
What's that one for?
It'd make a good row in the garden.
Exactly.
Branding iron.
Make a good boat anchor.
Yeah, there you go.
Or that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have an issue with the
for.
Some people have an issue with the curved rest. They subconsciously want to follow that rest. That's the only thing that I would caution anybody about. Just don't let the rest determine the curve of your bolt.
There you go.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's just a tool rest, it's not a template.
Right.
Exactly.
And so if you're hanging off a 1/4 inch here and a 3/8 inch there, your bolt, everybody else won't know. And there's no tool rest law out there. So, but there used to be a fellow in Florida that made them out of 1-inch stainless steel rod he got from the space program. And I can't find them anymore. But they were awesome. And it had different shapes and sizes. Pardon?
Rick Barnes?
No, it wasn't Rick. This guy just he worked in the space field, and he would bring home the scraps from where they made the great covers that go over drains, etc. And then he'd shape them and bend them, weld them up. I bought a couple for doing the inside of cowboy hats because, just like we talked a minute ago, you need to reach way down in there. It's like reach out and touch someone. And when you're inside of a hat, And if you get a shake on that rest, it you're paper thin. It's going to come. You'll lose the hat.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna transfer to the canvas.
Yeah. So that's why it was 1 inch stainless steel. I still have 4 or 5 of them, and they're beautiful pieces. And think about it, this guy was just using up scraps. Smart move. All right. I think Clint Hoyle's got something to show us for
Glenn
gallery.
Hoyle's got one.
Yeah.
Hey, Clint, you want to start your video and I'll bring you up?
Here we go.
There you are.
Haven't shown much in a while. Camera. I got this nice piece of mulberry from a friend in Austin recently.
Hey, and there's a natural edge.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I learned a little bit about stabilizing that bark. You know, don't count on your finish on the outside before you start putting CA on that bark to hold it on. Because then you got to go back and refinish that on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Look at it. The highs and lows match out on that piece. Very uniform. Very nice.
Somehow I got it right the first time.
Look at all those smiley faces.
I know it.
I left this one pretty thick to show off that edge. It weighs in at 10 ounces.
Looks
It's
nice.
a heavy one.
Not going to vibrate off the table.
No.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Nice job, Clint.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all at SWAT.
Oh, hey, that's coming up, folks.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got a SWAT announcement?
Oh, here
I'll go
it
if
is.
you come get me.
SWAT's the last full weekend in August. SWATturners.org is available for buying tickets. If you'd like to get it, my personal statement on SWAT, and you've heard it before, it is the world's finest wood turning seminar. The finest, because we're all friends, we're all family. And it's a combination of clubs. I believe 31 clubs involved in it. Janice Levy recruited me back more than 10 years ago for the Bayou Wood Turners. And I had some guys saying, really, you want to join that? And once they attended, it was locked in. And it's very nice. Remember, it's SWAT, Southwest Association of Turners. There's no guns and masks and all that stuff. But it is a great program. Fantastic gallery. I mean, one of the best galleries ever. And then the sales floor is nice. Look at me. They serve lunch and dinner some nights. Yeah, I haven't missed lunch and dinner in my entire life. But it didn't have to.
Last year was my first time going, and it was pretty great.
Yeah.
It really is the best, Eddie. It's just got everything in a beautiful venue, hotels within walking distance. The food, the price is so much better than some of the others, and it's become Tom and ours favorite venue to go to. It's just got it all.
It's fantastic. So that's SWAT coming up in August. Last full weekend in August. I don't remember the dates.
I have a question for people, and I've got a lot of questions tonight. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Go ahead, please.
What is your opinion of the one's coming up in Chattanooga at the end of the month?
AEW?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
All right, let's continue on without my opinion. Let's go.
So I'm asking people, have they
We're
ever?
going to SWAT instead of Chattanooga.
Okay, well that was my answer then. Thanks, Paula.
Okay. You're welcome.
Scott Hampton's going to be demoing at AEW.
Yeah.
Who's one of our members.
I don't know if you know her. She's demoing, and so is Dixie Biggs. And I don't know if you know her either, but.
Oh yeah, Dixie does some nice art.
Oh, she's absolutely gorgeous. I've taken a couple of courses from her, and she's phenomenal.
Yes.
They always have some great talent.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, but
One nice thing about AAW is if you're just going to do the gallery and the vendors area, there's no charge whatsoever. You can go in, look through the gallery. When it was in Louisville, Kentucky, I walked through the gallery, and then before I got out, I decided I'm not leaving here for at least 2 more hours. Just went back. I went around 3 times, I think, just checking out all the exhibits. And there was some beautiful work. And then went over to the vendor area and got to talk to some of the big names who were out at the time. I spent almost an hour with Bill Grumbine. We were just talking about one particular bowl lay that was there that he was doing a demo on, and just had a grand time talking with him and some of the other guys who were such big names back in that day. What was that? Mid to late 90s, I guess. So it's been a while. But that was a good time.
What I found is whether you're a turner or a woodworker, they are so willing to share their experience and their talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And most of these vendors bring in top-notch turners to be in their booth to demonstrate their tools. And I've been at some symposiums all over the States. If you walk up and say, "Can I try this?" they probably say, "Step up and do it." That miniature wood turner, what's his name? Tim Yoder, the miniature guy. I ran across him. He's always at SWAT. I ran across him and I wanted to show somebody how to use a Jameson type or the elbow type tool on the inside of a bowl, and I said, "Hey, can I show this to him?" And again, he said, "Step up, shield up, turn." And it was just that easy. Same thing with Lyle Jameson, who sells a great hollower. It used to be with JT Tools when they were around. Ron Brown's Best has got all that stuff. And Ron will take time, Ron and Janice will take time and talk to you about all the details and what you want. And that's where Ron gets his ideas. You go talk to Ron there and you think, well, he doesn't have that. Wait a couple of weeks. Ron will have it.
Yeah, he will.
And he kind of goes against the grain of some of these folks that say there's no jig or rig to do that. I'm sitting here looking at a jig to do my 40-40 grind using my Wolverine type. It's a Blackhawk sharpening system, and I can get that 40-40 just like everybody else talks about doing it by hand. I can get it on my grinder every single time the same, and I don't throw steel on the floor. That's why I use a rig. But I learned that at SWAT. That's where I ran across Ron. I got so much of his stuff I bought, just because it seemed like I couldn't live without that. And y'all know the feeling. You've been to the shows and the exhibitions, and I have to have that. Well, think about all the things you've made in your shop that are shop made, but you wish you'd gotten one made out of a different material or one that was more versatile, etc. Not a commercial Ron Brown, but he's got a holding chuck that goes over. You just turn that piece that we saw from Dean a little while ago, and you want to go back and finish the bottom of it, and hold it right to spin it and take the tenon off and clean it all up. You don't need a jam chuck. You need one of these things that Ron makes that's a plug with rings, different size rings to step on top of the piece to pull it in so you can line it up from your spur center and spin it. And it's like turning deadwood. I mean, it's on there, it's being held. There's not a lot of movement and vibration, and you go all the way across and clean it up, put your divot in, everything else. And those are the things you may just go to the show and see it. You might be real creative. Take a couple of photographs. Always carry a digital camera at those things. And snap a bunch of pictures. I've gotten run off from a couple of demonstrations because all I did was stand there and snap. Because I figured I'm going to come home and build that sucker. Now, I might not have had it built, but I came up with something. We have a question here from Steve. He's got a question about turning a bowl from a board. How do I hold the parting tool at the correct? Oh, he's talking the economy bowl. Steve, can we talk to you, Steve? Can you say hello?
Yeah, here I am right here.
All right.
Can you
Somebody
find me?
Steve.
I'll bring him up here.
I came in late.
All right.
Here I am.
Go ahead, Steve.
Hi. Yeah, I saw on the on YouTube several people turning a bowl from a board, and one individual, I think it was Papa 1949. He made a device to go into his banjo that went on top of a box tool rest that would hold the correct angle, but it was made out of aluminum. I don't have any method to work out aluminum. Is there any jigs that you guys have used made out of wood that you've used to hold the correct angle?
I made my own.
His was variable. He could go from like 45 to 60 degrees and anything in between, just by changing the angle.
I made mine out of a piece of very hard wood, and I put different angle grooves in it and put it on a post. And it worked really well. But I've seen somebody that makes one. There's a group that makes all kinds of jaws and rigs and stuff to fit other people's chucks. And they had some unique tool rest, and that one of them had that slotted piece, and the slots were, all right, you hit a 45-degree slot, about an inch over, you had another 45-degree slot. So when you're doing a economy bowl, you make the cuts just like that, and then it'd stack up. I mean, they did the math for you. But when you do these economy bowls, you really, really need to lay it out on a piece of graph paper and nothing else. Cut it out so you can see where those rings would be and how the size of them. Because if you miss, you missed.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything as far as how to lay it out. The best I could determine was that you would make the different cuts the actual size of the thickness of your board that you're using. Is that right?
Hey, Steve, I have a bowl that I made as an economy bowl based off of Gary the Papa 1947's rig. Let me run out to the shop real quick, and I'll get that tool rest that I made based off his original design, and I'll bring the bowl back in here. Give me about 1 minute to run back out to the shop, and I'll bring that back.
All right, Tim, holler at us when you get it.
Oh, where are you going to
In
get?
the meantime, while we're waiting on this, let's go to Scott Tague. He's got something that he wants to show us here, and then we'll come back to the economy bowl. Scott, go ahead and start talking, buddy.
You see me?
We got you, man.
Okay, Captain Eddie was talking about making pendants, so I make pendants here.
Pull it back towards you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So that started out as a piece of this. So this is just a bottle stopper blank plastic. This is what I hold it on. So it's set to the diameter that I want with a piece of tape, double-sided tape. And I made one for one size and one for another. This particular jig is made for this pendant here.
Very nice.
This pendant is interchangeable. This is a metal back that you can buy at the jewelry supply places with a earthen magnet in the back, and then you can swap them out. The ladies really like them, so they can buy one necklace and just swap out the pendant.
Nice.
That is a
Very
cool idea.
nice
You
idea.
put any chance you can put purchase details in chat?
Yeah, I purchased the pendant parts at Hobby Lobby because that's what I have around here, and the bulb, and I'll put in where I get where I buy these from.
Okay.
Okay.
The jig itself I made my own, so it goes in my truck either direction, and it sits square every time because that's why this collar is on here.
Right.
It self-centers itself, no matter which way you put it.
Nice.
And that's made out of a piece of hard maple.
Now
That's a good tip and trick right there, folks.
Now, Scott, the center of that is depressed or dimpled, correct?
Correct.
Because you don't need to hold the entire width. In fact, that could be detrimental to you.
Right. It actually should be concave, just ever so slightly in the middle.
Yeah. Makes all the difference world coming and going.
The other thing I've started doing is I put a little piece of metal in there and I glue my magnet in ahead of time. It's easier to drill that magnet in when it's square than when it's round.
Right.
Get it centered. Then the magnet also helps hold it with the double-sided tape.
Yeah.
Nice tip.
And great.
So this one right now is an old piece of tape, but I can get this pendant to stick to it.
Wow.
So there's just a small piece of metal rod behind that piece of tape. And that magnet's actually strong enough to hold it to turn it.
Wow.
Now, Scott was
It comes off pretty hard. And it don't take much to stick it on there.
No. And Scott was talking about double stick tape. This is a product called Sure Tape, SHURTAPE, and I believe have their own website on Sure Tape. I used to be able to get this at Lowe's, and y'all know about big box stores. They're going to go where it's easiest to get the best. All right. But this is no longer sold at Lowe's. It's made double stick to put down carpet, etc. I got the last rolls I need at Amazon. Why did I go to this rather than a paperback? This is like duct tape with the double stick on it. Why did I go to this rather than that film tape? If you put this on the device that Scott was just now showing us, and you press that block on, you better have a way to get it off. If you cut it all the way down to that dimension, you better have a way to get it off because this holds so well, you're going to think you super glued it to that block. So when I do those blocks, I put this is not a butt, Scott. Please take it this way.
Oh, absolutely not.
I put a groove across that I can slip something behind to help me pry it off. Because I've had some pieces I've broken, just through any move. But that type of glue block without glue is a really great turning aid when you're doing earrings, pendants, almost anything. And you see, Bob Moffat probably have a field day with this because I've textured bottle stoppers holding them on there because after I turned it, I realized it's kind of plain. You got to do something to it. And I put it back on that block or on the block, and then I brought up my Sorby tool and did the spiraling. I wanted on the top of it, held by tape. So Scott, that was a great idea. And the way you put that shoulder on that, do you have that still right there by you?
Yep.
Because some folks may miss what he's talking about. See the high point. If you did that rig out of a 1-inch dowel You're my number one chuck would hold the 1-inch style in a heartbeat. But how would you get it to always come back to true alignment? And see the shoulders he's got on that center band? Those shoulders bring it back into alignment. And so you slip it in, tighten it up, and it's back to original reference marks, which is really handy when you're turning. Why have to reinvent the wheel every single time you move it? Beautiful work, Scott. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight. All right. Steve says, I saw a fellow on YouTube who used a block of wood fit over his tool rest with the groove in it. Oh, he made his own just like I made mine.
Hey, Eddie, this is that deal he was talking about. That I said I'd go out to my shop. So on top here, I have a piece of wood mounted to I made my own tool rest, 5/8" rod, and then a piece of flat bar or angle iron that I cut down. But up on top, I've got two different angles. One's a 45, the other's a 50-degree angle. Right. And the concept would be to take my parting tool. Of course, the bowl blank is stuck in the lathe, and I got a picture I'll show you here in a second. Unfortunately, it's on my phone, so I'm going to have to try to make do on that. But basically, you just push your parting tool in, and you make the cut, and you cut the individual rings. Okay. 1 second here. I am not technologically advanced, but you can see I start off with a piece of wood segmented together, glued together. Right. 1 second. There we go. Getting some backlighting here that I shouldn't be getting. So then I cut out a basic round shape, put it on the lathe, spun it round, and then I mounted that jig to my tool rest, and using the parting tool, cut the rings, and of course stack the rings. This is that economy bowl deal that I was gonna do a demo on, but I've been wrapped up with the National Guard and I haven't had a chance to do anything on it yet. And of course, stack the rings, glue the rings together, and then turn that bowl there. Now, I just put a link in there to the website that Steve was referring to on the Papa 1947. That's where I got the idea for this. And he's also made a new tool rest that's a little better modification than this one. This one works real well. Again, the concept being that, you use your thin parting tool cutting in, and like Eddie was saying, you have to do your layout. If the board's 3/4 of an inch, then you want to cut at least 3/4 of an inch or 7/8 of an inch thick. So when you stack everything and glue it up, then you're just doing a real thin shear scrape just to make that bowl. And here is that bowl that I made. It's about approximately it's about 3/16 in thickness. So it did come out pretty good for my very first one. And I just honestly haven't been in the shop because I've been out training the National Guard. I got annual training going on right now. So I haven't been in my shop in a couple of months, and it's killing me. So
it's better to make it the rings wider than the board's thickness, right? It's a little bit wider.
Make the rings a little wider, and then you're going to be able to trim them down.
Looks like we had a video glitch with you, Tim. Did we? Yeah.
Side of his.
Okay, Tim, we're not getting either audio or video from you. We're kind of frozen.